Today we will review 6th grade math lesson 3.4. This lesson will cover how to apply the division of fractions and mixed numbers. Here's your I can statement. I can divide mixed numbers and fractions to solve problems and explain it to others. Okay, so one thing that we need to cover today is when dividing fractions or mixed numbers, and let's say you have a whole number in there, you have to remember that if you're dealing with a whole number, you have to write the whole number as a fraction. That's what you must do first. So I wanted to just go over the steps really quick if you're going to divide by a whole number. We don't really have any new vocabulary for today. So let's say you have the expression 1/2 divided by 6. 6 is a whole number. So step 1, just like it says here, we have to write the whole number as a fraction. And to write a whole number as a fraction, we just divide it by 1. So if we have 6 holes, like a whole amount, we know that equals 6 over 1. Any whole number over 1 is that number. So let's rewrite our problem. We have 1/2 divided by 6 over 1. And then step 2 is we do what we did on the last lesson, is we use the multiplicative inverse strategy. So we're going to say change, flip. So we're going to say 1/2, change the sign to multiplication. Now we are going to take the reciprocal, and the reciprocal will be 1/6, and then we multiply across and we get 1/12. So again, step 1 is we need to write the whole number over 1, and then we need to use the multiplicative inverse strategy. Right here it says the reciprocal of a whole number is a fraction with a numerator of 1 and a denominator of a whole number. For example, 1/4 is the reciprocal of 4 because 1 over 4 times 4 over 1 equals 4 over 4 equals 1. Okay, let's start our first example here. And if you want to do more of these on your own, you can look at your homework on those problems are on page 89 in your student workbook. I encourage you to pause this video and complete these problems on your own first, and then go back as I do the step-by-step. This problem lays out the steps that you'll need to solve this kind of a problem. So at a health food store, a bulk of bag of rice weighs 62 2/5 of a pound. It is to be divided into 24 smaller bags. How much rice will go in each bag? Again, the weight here, that's your whole or your total amount. So we always want to identify that in a problem. And this problem is saying how many groups of 24 are in 62 2/5. So this is step 1. We need to write an expression or a model to represent this situation. And because 62 2/5 is your total amount, then that is going to be divided by the 24. Step 2, convert the mixed number into an improper fraction and write the whole number as a fraction. So here we need to convert this mixed number into an improper fraction. So we do 5 times 62 plus 2 is we get 312 fifths. And then in order to write the whole number as a fraction, we are doing that here. One thing that I would add here as another step here is we need to, once we have done both those things, we need to rewrite the expression with the improper fraction and the whole number as a fraction. So I would say, we would use here, that's my improper fraction, 312 fifths is being divided by, and then here's my whole number over 1. C says identify the reciprocal of the divisor. So we know that the reciprocal of 24 over 1 will be 1/24. D, rewrite the division problem as a multiplication using the reciprocal. So we need to do keep, change, and flip. Keep the first term, change the sign, and flip the whole number. We're taking the reciprocal. So then we get 312 times 1 is 312, and 5 times 24 is 120. And then when I get this very large fraction here, I have to take the numerator, which is 312, and it's going to be divided by 120. So 120 goes into 312 2 times, and I get 240, and then I subtract, I get 72. So then the fraction I would get here is 2 and 72 1/20ths, and they divided those both by 24 to get 2 and 3/5 as their answer. So 2 and 3/5 of rice in each bag. All right, let's go on to the next sample problem. The area of a rectangle patio is 87 1/8 feet square. The length of the patio is 8.5 feet. What is the width of the patio? Okay, so we know that the area of a rectangle patio is 87 1/8 square feet. So when we're talking about the area of a rectangle patio, it means the entire area. This is your area. And that is going to be 87 1/8 square feet. So we know here is our total amount. Then they give you the length of the patio is 8.5 feet. And then the unknown is what is the width. So what do we know about the area of a rectangle? We know that the area of the rectangle is length times width. So we know that they gave us the area is here, 87 1/8. And we know that the length is 8.5, and we don't know the width. So when you're looking at this, you have to understand that this here is a multiplication problem, and the opposite of multiplication is division. So that's why, in order for me to find out what W is here, I was going to have to divide. So let's set up that expression. It's 87 1/8 is being divided by 8.5. Okay, I need to change these now both into improper fractions. So 87 times 8 plus 1 is 697 over 8. Then I have 2 times 8 is 16 plus 1, that's 17 halves. Now I need to do keep, flip, change. So change the sign, and then we need to take this, we need to take the reciprocal of 17 halves, which is going to be 2 over 17. Now I know 2 is a factor that goes into both of these. So that makes it a little bit smaller here. So I have 697 divided by 68, which equals 10 and 25 hundredths of a foot, or 10 and a fourth, which would be my width. All right, I'm going to go do a couple of these below. Again, I encourage you to stop this video and do these problems on your own. So I'm going to do a few of them. I'm going to go 2 and 6 and 5, and then the other ones I'm just going to show you the answers. But on these, I'm going to show you everything. So on the first one, we have 2 mixed numbers, so I must turn them into improper fractions. So 9 times 8 is 72 plus 5 is 77. So I have 77 over 8 divided by 4 times 1 is 4 plus 3 is 7/4. Keep, change, flip, taking the reciprocal. And then I know that 4 goes into both of these, and then 7 goes into both of those. So I would get 11 halves, or I would get 5 and 1/2. Then for question 5, you notice I have a whole number here. So the first step is I'm going to have to go up here and remember this step B. I have to convert the first fraction into an improper fraction. 9 times 5 is 45 plus 8. I would get 53/9 divided by, and then 2 is a whole number. I need to place that over 1. Then do keep, change, flip, and then I get 53/18. Remember, this line here in a fraction means to divide. So if I have 53 is being divided by 18, so it goes in twice. 2 times 9 is 36, subtract with 17 left over. So 17 becomes my numerator, and 18 is already here. So that's 2 and 17/18. And then let's look at number 6. Change this to an improper fraction. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 2 is 5. So I have 5/3 divided by 1/6. Keep, change, flip. 3 is a factor into both. So then I get 5 times 2 is 10 over 1, but the answer is 10. And then these other ones you can do on your own. So that's 18 and 2/5. And this is 10 and 1/4. And this one is 40 and 2/5. That's our lesson for Module 3, Lesson 4, Grade 6.